Jacob Norlock here with GPS DataViz. I'm joined with Jordan Diaz, Director of Speed Development here at Georgia Tech. Jordan, thanks so much for having us on campus. We're excited to be here for homecoming. Just want to ask you a few questions about your program. First off, what technology are you guys using here at Georgia Tech football?
So kind of a couple different pieces that we use together. The first one being Catapult. That's our GPS. That's kind of like the big thing right now. That does all of our on-field stuff. That's all of our training sessions in the off season. We use that from January straight through to December and wrap back around. Next one that we use, and that's big right now in season for us, is Sparta. So we use a force plate. We do all of our jump testing on that multiple times throughout the week. That provides a readiness score for us in some capacity, kind of seeing where the guys are at, whether it's on Sunday or on Thursday as we prepare to play another game, make sure they're in a good place. Another one that we use is kind of newer for us is Whoop. That's more of a research state for us, tracking guys' sleep, trying to figure out how that's going to provide insight for us or how we can help manage that one. But something new that we added, so we'll continue to see how that goes. And then the big one in the weight room for us is Perch. So that's a camera-based system. That one's going to give us the bar velocity and some of the metrics that go along with that.
Very cool. As far as all the technology you're collecting, how is that as a performance staff helping indicate or help you make better decisions, whether you're training in the weight room or out on the field?
So every piece kind of provides a little bit different insight. The one thing I will say is I think every time we get a new toy, everybody wants to think of like, how is this going to provide immediate feedback, right?
Yep.
And for sure, I can get immediate feedback when I use GPS on the field, live tracking. It tells me how fast somebody ran or the total volume that day. Or with the Perch in the weight room with how fast was that rep specifically. But the truth to it is it's used to program the next season. It's used to program the next phase. It's used to give us feedback or insight as to what we got from what we previously did. Oftentimes, the information we're getting that day is not driving the next day. It's driving the next phase. We program everything from a speed perspective from the last calendar year. So a lot of the information we get back is kind of like taken down, written, and then we utilize that one to go forward. So when I program for our off season in December, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look back at our season, look at our practices, look at what we did last December, and I ultimately prepare them to play football again the next year with the workouts we're doing.
Love it, love it. Last question for you is, obviously being here for now a year, what is the culture that you and the performance staff are establishing here at Georgia Tech football?
I think that the biggest thing with everything that we try to do, right? I know AJ kind of said this from the get-go when we got here. We want to take the modern approach to strength conditioning, right? We want to use the technology and all the pieces that go along with that, but with an old school mentality, right? We can't forget that we're a strength and conditioning staff, emphasis being strength there. Sure. We need to train hard. We need to create intention. We need some type of physical mentality. Sometimes you have to move the bar with violence, right? And so I think a lot of times with all the new GPS and the new stuff is we want to see how fast the guy's running. We want to see how cool these numbers look or that look. Sometimes it's got to be hard. It's got to be strained. It's got to be ugly. So we're trying to take that old school mentality and take the modern approach and all of the information that we're getting and mesh those two things together. I think the big thing for us, and it kind of comes from our head coach, is we're trying to drive intent on every single rep of everything that we do, right? And it's a one rep mentality, and every rep is trying to be one. Being able to look at data actively live, whether that's in the weight room or on the field, provides that ability to win each and every single rep, as if there is no scoreboard, there is no tomorrow, there's just the one you're doing right there.
You can always control the next rep.
Correct.
All right, can't like sit on what just happened, but you can always control the next rep.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it's been a huge piece for us in all those different areas to be able to get that insight so we can continue to attack the next one as we go.
Love it. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
For sure.